So my name is Akashi Kaul. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Research at Sambodhi Research and Communications Pvt. Limited. And essentially, we are a full-service research and evaluation firm. By a full-service research and evaluation firm, I mean that we do everything that is research and evaluation, from needs assessments and scoping studies to summative evaluations to embedded evaluations to anything that requires any form of research evaluation. And then, of course, strategic input for how to put all of this work back into the program itself. The very fact that DEI is becoming a part of our conversation now, when it's become popular in the global north, and it's when it's become popular for organizations and corporates headquartered in the global north, is very telling of the power structure itself, right? Because international development should have had this conversation ages ago. So that in itself is unequal. It's inequitable. It shows that there's a structure to there's a power equation to these situations. So DEI essentially means equalizing that and recognizing this and calling this out and saying that even in our conversation around diversity, around equity, and around inclusion, there is an inherent bias towards decision makers in the global north. There is an inherent looking to the global north to set the tone. And in international development work, especially given that we work with so many different geographies, there is no uniform definition. Different stakeholders being involved in conversations and decision making. Equity looks more like the power balance being as equitably distributed between different stakeholders as possible. And inclusive just simply means making it an inviting atmosphere, inviting table for every stakeholder. It's not a goal. It's not something that you can achieve. So the idea of having this as, this is an achievable goal that we need to sort of accomplish is something that organizations need to forego. What they need to sort of acknowledge and recognize that this is a process, and we have to be committed to the process at every step. If there is evidence that shows us that what we know now is wrong or is not applicable, or it doesn't apply to anyone anymore, then you have to be able to change that. For me, the first step towards including a DEI lens, or to having a DEI lens, is acknowledging that this work is ever ongoing, number one. Number two is being ready to have uncomfortable conversations, right? Like, everything can't be feel good, and nothing about talking about inclusivity or equity is feel good. It's an inherently uncomfortable conversation. You're going to put people in a situation where they're going to have to question their privilege, or acknowledge their privilege, or ask themselves, why am I at a table making decisions about someone else's life, right? I genuinely feel that every organization needs to do their own homework regarding their own organizational culture, the people that work there, and the people they want should work there. So there is no one-size-fits-all toolkit. There is no one-size-fits-all lens. This has to evolve with the organization itself. The organization has to sit with itself. Main stakeholders have to get together, have these uncomfortable conversations about who they are and who they hope to be. One step towards that is collecting the right kind of diversity metrics, knowing who works there, who is represented in the organization. What do your main vendors look like? The people that you're subcontracting to. Who are your main funders? Who's giving you the money? And what do they look like? What is their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion? What is your contractors and consultants commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion? What is your own personal commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion within your own firm?